Hey dudes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and I've not been here for ages, and the reason for that is simply because nothing interesting has happened. My life is horrendously boring at the moment, so there's been nothing to vlog about. But I thought it would be good to catch up over something fun, and what could be more fun than dyeing your hair a fun colour? So I'm going to dye my hair purple today, and I'm going to use, excuse me, Bleach London's Violet Skies. So you can kind of see it's kind of a light blonde at the moment, my hair, so the colour should go on quite well. It could do with being lighter, really, but the thing was I didn't get my hair cut for ages because I'm lazy. And so I didn't bleach it for ages because there was no point when I needed a haircut, so I bleached it, and after I bleached it there was still quite a lot of dark and kind of copper throughout, just because there's so much hair to bleach that I couldn't really get it all in one go. But I didn't want to do it twice and kill my hair, so I just toned it anyway, and again it probably could have done with that twice because it's still quite multi-tonal, but I think that's okay, and I think it looks fine. And like I said, I knew I was gonna dye it a fun colour anyway, so what was the point? Yeah, so, pro tip, prioritise the safety and condition of your hair over the colour. Like, seriously, don't ruin it, it's not worth it. It's quite good as well when you have quite short hair because it doesn't take long for it all to grow out. If it gets a little dry or strawy at any point, you can just let it grow out and it will be fine really quickly. So sorry if you have long hair. So yeah, I'm gonna get on with that. I had a really weird time at the hairdressers, like weird and embarrassing. So my haircut's kind of a little bit strange. It's a little bit too long at the back and the sides. It's kind of weird, but I'll tell you about that when the hair dye's on. So yeah, invisible step 1 and 2, bleach, tone. I don't do them all the same day because I feel like your hair needs time to recover. So my advice, which is not probably that pro, is to bleach it when you're not going out the next day, so you can just chill out with yellow hair for a bit, because it's better than overdoing it and your hair going like, no. So this takes 20 minutes, I believe, to 15 minutes to be left on. So I'm going to whack this on and put on a timer, and I'll catch up with you then. Okay, so more impromptu tips. I forgot to say I'm wearing a huge dark t-shirt that I will only use as a night shirt, so that it doesn't matter if I get purple on it. It's kind of a weird t-shirt actually, because Stormtrooper was having a party with Darth Vader. It was my dad's. He gave it to me for my birthday. He's a very strange man. Yeah, actually it's so big it looks like I'm not wearing anything. I am wearing shorts. It's just a huge t-shirt. And also the other thing is I have a towel specifically for bleaching my hair. Look at that monstrosity. Am I beautiful yet? So I have put all of the purple in my hair. Used up the entire bottle as best I could because of the like viscosity of the colour product. It's really hard to get out, especially when you're wearing gloves. So even though you don't get that much to begin with, it's also really hard to get it all out. So for sure, advice is if you have hair any longer than mine, buy 2 bottles, and also make sure you use a mirror to make sure you get the back, because I checked mine halfway through to make sure that I was getting it all, and there was just a huge blonde bit in the middle, so always check that. But yeah, it's on. I've got to set a timer. I keep forgetting. Damn. And there we go. Time set. I shortened it by a minute because I've been faffing around. Hopefully that's in focus. Sorry, I obviously don't have my glasses on now, but yeah, so all done. Waiting for the timer. Now I think is a good time to tell you about why my experience at the hairdresser this time was so awkward and my hair is thusly not exactly what I was after. I don't know if anybody else finds this, but I really seriously hate the hairdressers. I'm 21 years old and I'm just as afraid of going to the hairdressers as I was when I was a baby, apparently. I just find the whole experience so awkward. You have some like strange, I had this like young man that I'd never met before, like washing my hair and like they massage your scalp like really hard, and it's weird. And then you have to make conversation for like 45 minutes while they cut your hair. So to ease some of the pain of this experience, I always go to the same hairdresser. So I've been going to this one specific lady at this one place, and I go online, I click rebook, I go there because you can book online as well, and it's fine because she does the same thing every time. She always kind of checks in on length and things, but it's always exactly the same, so she kind of knows what's up and I don't have to worry too much about it. So this time it kind of started weird because usually she kind of leaves me to it a little bit because she knows that I am not much of a conversationalist, and this time she was really chatty and we were talking about the EU referendum and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, well maybe you should just, feels like chatting today, maybe this is good, you know, maybe I'm just looking more approachable today. And then it started getting a bit weird, and she was saying stuff like, oh, you know, so-and-so who's somebody's daughter and she's going on holiday and getting married to somebody else who works here, and I'm just like, who are these people you're talking to me about? I'm not part of the hairdresser family, I don't know who these people are. Obviously out loud I'm just like, oh right, yeah, that's cool, trying to pretend like I have any idea what she's talking about. And then it gets a bit later and she's like, does Zoe normally cut your hair? And inside I'm like, shit, because no, you usually cut my hair. But it's too awkward to say anything. So I was just like, oh, I used to get it done at uni. So basically she's forgotten entirely who I am, which was extremely off-putting. She didn't kind of check in with me about the length of anything. She didn't say how short, how long do you want any of these. But it was too awkward, so I just kind of rolled with it until the end, and showed me in the mirror and I was like, oh yeah, that's fine, that'll do. Obviously I said, oh that's amazing, I love it, I love you, marry me, because I'm so... I didn't really realise, and my hair felt kind of weird, and I was like, oh, it's just because of the cut. But it was way faster than usual. I didn't have it like thinned out or my fringe trimmed much or anything. But I didn't say anything because I was thinking more about, oh god, this is horrendous, she's forgotten who I am. My life is a shambles. So I just said, oh yeah, great, thank you, and paid and ran away. And realised, looking in the shop window outside, the reason that it felt so weird is because she'd moved my fringe to the other side. Like my parting was on the opposite side, but because it hadn't been cut that way before, I had like a kind of bowl cut thing going on here. Like I look like a member of the Beatles, so I had to swap it back, which still looks kind of weird because it's been sort of cut not that way. So basically I was really unhappy with my haircut and too embarrassed to say anything because the hairdresser forgot who I was. That's the gist of the story really. But I think it looks fine enough to not worry about it, so I'm just gonna wait until it grows out and I need another cut and then go somewhere else, I guess. So yeah, part of me thought maybe if I dyed a bright colour, no one will notice. Rock and roll. Et voila! I have purple hair. So you can see it's kind of patchy, the coverage isn't amazing, but I think that's just the nature of this type of sort of temporary dye. But yeah, especially at the back, it's not so great at the back. Even though I kind of checked as I was going along, it's still mostly kind of white with pastel purpley hues, but that's okay. But yeah, all in all, I think it's pretty cute. I don't think it matters, the coverage, so much when it's a really light pastel colour. But yeah, definitely I would suggest with most length hairs you probably will need 2 dyes. But either way, it washes out fast. The colder colours tend to last a bit longer, so this shouldn't be too bad. They generally say 2 to 10 washes, but certainly with the warmer colours it's more like 2. But yeah, I think it looks really cute. So maybe when this is gone, I'll probably buy a different colour if I dye it again, because it's fun to do different colours, I think. I've done pink all over, now purple all over, and green and pink. So something new maybe. But yeah, thank you very much for sharing that with me. If you would like to see more stuff like this, obviously not hair dyeing on a regular basis, but anything like this, then let me know. If you've liked our little catch up, if you have any suggestions for things to do, also let me know, and I will see you next time.